Okay, welcome back. So yeah, this will be part 2 of today. We are in the middle of implementing a scene map where we basically take all the scenes in the game and stitch them together. As you can see here, I have, if I hide the background here, this is part of the map. So yeah, we're taking each scene and putting it like next to wherever it's connected to other scenes. It's all automatic. It's looking at the exits and entrances of each scene, and it kind of stitches a map together that you can see in the editor. However, you can see here that it's like a little bit of a mismatch going on with the actual entrance and exit points. And I think I know why it happens. So I guess is that the scene, the positions of the entities, like if I show you this one instead, let's see. So wait, this is not the right one. Here, this one. So the idea is well, okay, we can use this image. This isn't really the correct image here, but let's see. Let's take this scene here, for example. Now each thing in the grid is a scene in this case, and so let's take this one, for example. This is the position that I was thinking about for each scene. Would be like the top left. However, it's actually in the middle here. This is the center point. This is where the position is. But I've assumed that it's up here. Now, and that is regarding the positions of these entities here. So the vector is actually this for this entity in this scene. That's the vector there. And yeah, so I'm not sure if there's a difference actually what we're doing here. Basically just offset, but the problem is that yeah, depending on the size of the scene, the offset might differ. Like this part, this offset here, this might differ depending, because here it's like a different vector. It likes, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna see if we can conjure up a fix for that. Also, yeah, the offset we need to figure out as well. But but anyway, yeah. So I think we want to go to map. Well, scene map. Here I just ate a whole bunch of food, so I'm like, excuse me if I'm like sounding sleepy or something, because I'm about to fall asleep almost here. But let's see, so which one? So the problem is the positions of the scenes, or the like this position, for example. This position is relative to the center of the scene and not relative to the top left of the scene, and that's the issue here. So we probably want to include that somehow. Now this position, so actually, if we redo this drawing a little bit. Alright, let's go back here. Let's make a new image here. Okay. And so let's make a rectangle. So here's a scene. Right? So this is the center point. and we have an exit over here, and so the exit, so this vector to the exit is like this. Okay, now we have another scene over here, let's say center point somewhere here. Now this has, I guess we can draw it like in a red sort of thing, a pointer to the entrance over like this. Okay, and maybe we should do it like this or something. So so the thing is, what we want to get is basically we want to get maybe the center point, like the position. No, we really want to get this position here, because we have, once we have the position size, we can calculate the center point. But let's keep on going here. So we want to calculate, let's say we calculate this position, let's say. It doesn't matter if it's this or this, we just need to be able to calculate one of them. So we basically want to have this vector then, because this is going to be the start, and then this is going to be the position of this one. So how do we do that? Well, we take the exit here, it's pretty clear now from this drawing. We take the exit and minus that, and that's basically what we're already doing, except when we actually draw the stuff, we think that this is the thing that we're talking about, and this is the thing that we're talking about. So that's not correct. Maybe that's the issue, I'm not sure. So to fix that, when we draw, I think what we need to do is like do this. We take half of the size and subtract to get this one. Let's try that. So this is gonna be in rendering. Yeah, because when we do the draw tile map, we have the position there, the destination is X and Y, the position is offset plus grid times, yeah, so we're not dealing with but what the origin is 0. So we're not dealing with the size of the actual layer, the size of the time map. So actually, I think this is actually drawing it from the top left to the bottom right. Or I mean, yeah, the destination is like offset plus the position. Wait, but this is yeah. And the position is just X and Y like this. So it starts at the top left. Right, so we need to make sure that this position, now this position is actually now the center, so we need to make it the top left. So we'll do minus size. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, half the size. Yeah, minus half the size. Actually, how does this look now? Should look like very weird. Well, it doesn't look correct. Does this even compile now? No. Oh yeah, so this would be wait. Oh, so these are float. Oh yeah, those are float. Well, then taking division there would be, shouldn't then be a problem. Okay. There we go. There you see. Now it's much closer here to. Although the min-max doesn't really work now. You can see here that it gets chopped off over here. And so I think that's because when we're trying to get the min positions, it's also offset. So here I actually need to grab the min is actually not the position. It's going to be the same thing as this. Yeah, and then now let's see. There we go. All right. Cool. We got it working. So now we're basically automatically generating the map here. And you can see here also, now it's interesting here because well, most of the time we have this like rectangular shape of the tile map, and it seems to fit, you know, pretty good here. Once you come up here, we have a bit of funkiness going on. So this is like we have, well, what I should say is like all the entrances and exits are at the edge, outer edge of the map. Here is different. Here we have an entrance exit here that is like in the middle of this tile map here. So that's why it looks a bit weird. This starts like in here and then goes up here, and actually this part, didn't I connect this? This should connect to something. Oh, maybe I didn't finish that. Now that should go to the boss room. Oh, is that not connected then? See, now we already got some debugging purpose for this view here, because now we can see that everything seems to be very well connected here, because we are checking for connections. If you have a missing connection, you're not going to be able to see the rest of the stuff. If the connection was missing here, then the whole thing here would be gone, or this part, depending on where you start. So now we see that, okay, this part is connected and this part is connected. However, there's a missing connection here. So we're missing so this is the upgrade room. This is the room that goes up to the boss room. Yeah, so and then this one is the right branch. Yeah. So it's a little bit of overlap here, but it's fine. Okay, yeah, so we're got a missing connection here, so we can go there and check it out. Now, another thing that I want to do to make this more like complete, well, one thing is it looks a little bit weird at the map. When you resize it, you should also resize this thing. But let's actually see if we can fix that. Let's see, do we have any memory leaks? No. Okay, cool. Always check that. After we've implemented something. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so we have a couple of things that we want to do with the scene map. Well, yeah, there's the window size thing, but then there's also, I'm gonna add a to do here with the I think basically put it in here. So we have the camera controls, but we also want to do is we want to have a hover cell highlights. Yeah, hover map cell highlights, and then also click on cell to open scene. Right, so that's what we want to do. And close map. And then we also want to have like a shortcut somewhere. We want to have a shortcut where shortcut M to open map. Alright, so we have a couple of to-dos here. Now once I've done all these to-dos, I think we're done with the map feature, basically. If a visual size so yeah, so what I was saying, like when you resize the window, we should unload the render texture, resize it. Basically, we're loading it again with a different size. I mean, basically what we want to do is re-render it with a different size. Where's the render thing? Render map. So this one, basically, we're calculating the size. Oh, this is for this render texture. It's gonna be for this render texture, that's right. So let's get the size. I'll keep this to do. And we'll check if the window size is not equal to this width. I guess we'll do it from it. Or height. If it's different, then we want to do unload render texture. And then load render texture with a new size. Let's actually just make this into a vector. No, was trying. This was trying to do before. Could we do? This is the problem. Like this is basically what a vector is, I believe. But I don't know. But you would think so anyway. Okay. Could we do like a pointer cast? Can you do pointer cast? What? All right. From float. Now you want a float, except you don't want to float. You don't want to float. There we go. Okay, just making it a little bit more readable here. Okay, so we could put this whole thing in its own sort of function, I guess. Also, resize. Needed something like this. All right. Okay. See if we can start this. And there you go. Yeah, now it's like doing this. Okay, cool. This I'm also a bit annoyed with. The zoom in and zoom out is like down here. We probably want to offset like over here, so it's like we want basically the camera to be at the center of this map, or at the center of the window, maybe, I guess. Maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe that's the issue, like it should be the center of the window. So then we probably wanna do this here. So it's not going to be the render texture, it's going to be the window size 0/2. This soldier. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. That's well, much better. It's kind of weird how it starts like over here. It should probably, the target should, it should probably start in the middle as well. But how do we want to do that is the question. Probably don't want to do anything on resize. I mean, it's basically gonna be the first time you open map is gonna set the position maybe, or the first, like the first time, like when we initiate the camera basically. Or when we rebuild the scene, maybe. Okay, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. It's fine, I guess, the way it works. Like if, let's say we open up the map here, it starts at like the top left. Well, it's top left in a weird like render texture way. But then we go over here and we close it off, we open it up again. It's gonna keep the same position, which we probably wanna save somewhere in our session, maybe add it to session. Okay, but anyway, that's just very quality of life stuff that's not really super necessary. So what we wanna do now is, well, a couple of things. I want a shortcut to the scene. But we also want to have, I want to remove this padding as well. But we want a shortcut, and then we also want to, when we hover on the cells, I want to highlight the cell. And I also want to, when we click on it, we go to that cell, we open that cell in the editor, and we close the map. So that should be here. Let's add the shortcut first. So we'll do if, well, this should be like scene, this should be a different function, like scene map UI handle input, because it's gonna happen like in a different way. So this would be probably need the context. So it's gonna be like if capture mouse, no, keyboard, not. So if it, well, if you want to capture it, then we can just return. But otherwise, we can do if get key pressed. Wait, get key pressed. No, key is key pressed. M. Right. If key is pressed, then this one is true. Well, actually it's toggles. Oh yeah, and we need to call this function as well. Layout. Where's the handle input stuff? Here. We should add that as well. And then it's gonna be scene, handle input, context. There we go. We can remove that. No. Alright. Actually, it's probably gonna be like, well, actually, no. Because we want the shortcut to be true there. We should probably instead have a like project wise or global like shortcut instead. There we go. Now we can open the map. Okay, cool. And we can't close it. Okay, so we have to unfocus that. So we have to close it. That's weird. Why is that? Is it because of the capture? Because of the hover stuff? Maybe we shouldn't have that then. We don't want to prevent a whole bunch of stuff just because of that. Yeah, maybe this is preventing stuff. Like, what if we remove this, run, and I will see if the shortcut now works. No? Okay, so it works if we're outside of it, but not when we're hovering over it for some reason. Interesting. No mouse inputs. Maybe that? Wait, but if we set that to true, can we still like close the thing? Okay, now we can, now this works. But yeah, but nothing happens now here. Okay, that's curious. So we do want this to happen for mouse. But yeah. Well, the thing is, okay, let's go out here. We'll probably move you here. don't really need to have an editor for this either. Let's do that. We'll skip this part. What's happening? Oh. Return. Okay, well now let's... No. If you want to capture it, then we return. There we go. Okay. So ideally we'd want to have the camera controls down here, but I mean, sure, why not? Yeah, so it's like if we don't want to capture the mouse, then we do this. If we don't want to capture the keys, we do this. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit weird because you're gonna be able to scroll the map from anywhere now. Or not. Oh yeah, because we want to catch. Okay, yeah. Because of no, but now there's no item hover here. Why does it want to capture the mouse? I don't understand that part. Okay, well let's just force the camera controls then. I guess we want to check first if the thing is open. Yeah. If the window's open, then we apply the controls. We could also check, you know, if the mouse is inside of the window and stuff like that, but because now I think, yeah, you can do this. But it doesn't really matter right now. Okay, but yeah, now we can open and close with M for the map. We can go anywhere we want. I want to disable this. Let's disable like mouse, move with mouse. Is that a flag? Move. So I do want to be able to move it, but not with like anywhere. Also Now I can't move it at all. Whatever, it's fine. Probably also better if it's just a full screen thing, even. But anyway, so that's the map, and yeah, now I want to be able to. First, we want to highlight the cell that we're hovering. So let's do that. Let's remove this code here. Right. Well, actually, let's keep this here around. I mean, couldn't we just keep the camera controls here? Whatever. Right. So, how do we know which map cell we are highlighting? Since it's not really a grid, like a lattice, like an integer, like evenly spaced cells, they basically each have their own position, unique position, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just the position that they have based on the entrance and exit positions and size of the tile map. So it's gonna be what? Okay, I need to be over here. 1 second there. So what I'm thinking we'll do is we'll loop through all the cells and we'll just check, okay, are you overlapping with the cell? And if you are, then we show the cell. Then we show the highlight and we break out of the loop. That is basically what I think we should do. So we just need a couple of things. We need to go through the thing. Actually, let's just do a function for this. Show cell, like, okay, let's do this. Get highlight, so highlighted cell. That should be like the index to the cell in the list. So we should get highlighted cell. Okay, and then we'll highlight the cell. And then we will also, if the mouse is down, if the mouse is, or pressed maybe, left, then actually we might not get a highlighted cell. So if we don't, then yeah, I think we just return from here. But if we do, we highlight it, and if we press left, we will do, yeah, just open cell. So the cell will be the index, or it could just be the actual cell itself, which means that we can access the scene ID, and we can call, for example, context open editor by ID like this, and the scene ID should exist, I believe. Map cell. Oh, it's the key. That's right. So maybe it's, yeah, maybe we get this the scene ID here instead. So it's not. It's actually just this. No. There we go. All right. So that's how we could do that. Now this is like the easy part. What is the hard part is actually calculating the highlight and everything. Okay, and we also need to close the map thing after we've done that. There we go. All right. So we need a function that is called get highlighted cell, and we probably need the scene map, context scene map. I mean, let's just pass the context. Oops. Right, and then we highlight it. We need the cell to do it. And probably the context. Okay, we'll figure it out. But here we'll have this function which returns a nullable UUID. Right. So what are we doing here? We want to loop through every cell in the map. So let's do that. Map cells, map values. Oops. Cell. So here's the cell, and then we want to calculate the boundary of the cell, that is, and we want to have it translated and basically transformed into mouse coordinates, so that we can then compare the mouse coordinates with the thing. So basically what we need is cell rectangle transformed. So that's going to be some kind of rectangle. Okay, once we have that, then we can simply do check collision with, wait, not rectangle, collision, so point rect. Yeah, so the point is gonna be get mouse position, and the rectangle is this. And if they are colliding, we will return the cell. Well, we'll return map, no, map cells, map keys index. There we go. Oh, import that. All right. Yeah, so we need to use the cell somehow to get the thing. All right. Then we also need the highlight cell function. So we'll take highlighted, so no, just cell. And we now, I think what we'll do is we'll get the draw list, and we need to add a rectangle, I think. And do some stuff with that. We need to know, okay, this is the thing. Right, so we need to do these things. Excuse me. All right, we've got minimum. Yeah, this is basically the same thing almost. We need to transform basically the cell position and stuff into screen coordinates, or in I'm not sure if it's screen coordinates or window coordinates. But we'll start somewhere, because if so, then we should, that's like the same thing that we're doing up here. So maybe we should make just a function for that. Like get cell rectangle transformed. Get cell screen rectangle or something like that. We need the context probably. We'll just call it cell rect. All right. Cell is actually, what's the UID? No, that's not. That's actually a map cell. Okay, we'll make that public, so now we can import it there. Right, and then we'll return a rectangle. Alright. Now, the min will be x and y, and the max Alright. Col. I'm not sure. Oh, the color. What is that? Like color? It's a U32. I'm pretty sure there should be a way to get that. Yeah, so this one, for example, or so yeah, it's gonna be something like this, and these are floats. So is it from 0 to 1, or what is it? Well, let's just do 1, I guess, for white. Rounding. No rounding. Draw flags. Thickness. All right. What does it mean? Oh, right, and then they all need to, whoops. They all need to have a dot there, yeah. There we go. Okay. And in the end, we can know. Context. Oh, right. So you will be. Wait. Yeah, you're that. Okay, let's do this. Let's do struct. So we get the key and the value. The value is a map cell. There we go. So we get the key, and then we also get the cell. There we go. And now here we get the key and the cell. Wait. There we go. Now you're the key. Well, actually, let's call it scene ID maybe instead. Okay. So, we have a couple of unimplemented stuff here. We need to calculate the cell rectangle. This part should be good. I think. This part We're going through each one. We're getting that. We're checking collision. Yeah, that should be good. And then over here we get that. We highlight it. And we press play. Yeah, so that should be it. The only thing that's left now, it seems, is this part where we transform the cell position and size into sort of screen coordinates. So I have to think about this a little bit. The position of the cell is gonna be like the position of the window plus, or the position of the item itself, the texture. So we probably need to get that. Well, that's in relation to the window. So here's the position of the image. So let's grab that. So map position. Alright. Now if we need to offset with the window position, we can do that here as well. But we do want to pass this in. I think to both of these functions. Yeah. So this would be map position. Let's make it a floating point vector because it's easier. And do this. These are floats, yes. Okay. So we have to pass that in there. And now you will take, I guess this could be an offset. All right. You take this as well. All right. Now I don't know about this. Yeah, that's gonna be correct either way. Well, we'll see if this is like, because I'm not sure if the screen coordinates or window coordinates, but it's like, yeah. Okay, and you also need the map position. Okay. There we go. Right, so yeah. Let's see if we can calculate this now. So let's say the position, so min, is gonna be, we'll start with the offset, and then we want to add the cell position, but that's gonna be scaled by the scene map camera zoom, and we also wanna do the target. Actually, you know what? I think the camera has like a matrix transform thing. Yeah. transform. No. I think it's like, let's see. Well, let's say we have set position. Let's say we have this. And then, yeah, now we can say transform. So we get a new thing in it and then transform. Right. Oops. And so we're gonna do cell position. So it's gonna be like wait. Let's just use these functions, whatever. Because the thing is, I tried using these functions before in Raylib, and I think they, I think I saw them leaking, but I'm not sure about that. But let's do add, because it's just like two numbers, so in a struct, you know. And then we add what offset, something to make that into a vector. Okay, so we add the offset. We transform. So we transform the camera. Right. And then we add the off. Wait, do we transform the cam? Yeah, we do. We transform the camera. Okay, then we get the. Then we add the offset, and then this is the min. And then the max will be. I mean, it's basically gonna be size. And then, well, it's just gonna be like size over zoom. Because we don't want to move it. We don't want to move the size with the transform. We just want to divide. Okay, let's do size over camera dot zoom. So this is oh, we need to actually let's do zoom. And then splat. And now we can do this over zoom. Right. Yeah. So now we have the cell size, so the max should just be cell position. No, min. There we go. Oh wait, we don't need the max, we just need the size. Okay. So this is cell size 0, cell size 1. Okay. So I think that's it for that. Well, we'll see. This has never really worked out the first time while doing stuff like this. Okay, so I think everything is like hooked up and ready to be tested. So let's just see what happens here. No compilers, at least. Oh, I think the division should be, or yeah, it's the wrong. Okay. Or is it like this should be inverted or something? Or should this be times the zoom? Let's do it. I think that should be like the other way around. Okay, yeah. Well, it's okay, and then the matrix might. Well, it sort of works. It's they are staying in that. The translation seems to work. This is strange. But it does work to jump around now, but I think it's like translated weirdly. I think this is the first one, yeah. And so that one is this one. This one is the next one. They are kind of weirdly offset here. Huh, is it the same issue as the other thing? Okay. The position of the, so this is the center. Cell position is center of the cell. Yeah, so that's not the min. That's not the min. But it's still, it feels more off than just that. It feels like there's more errors here. But this should really be. Let's do position minus cell size over 2. Actually, let's do vector 2. And now this will be some min. And this is actually min. Well, yeah, and then we need to add as well the position. Maybe this is wrong as well. Okay, but you can see how it's better aligned now. You can see the edges touch each other now. So it's correct now in that sense, but the whole thing is like offset in a weird way. Yeah, maybe the transforms. Should we invert the mate? No, that doesn't seem correct. Why is it off so much? It seems to also move in a weird way. I don't know. It does. That like translation works. The zoom also sort of works. Yeah. Well, it's just like it's offset in a weird way. So maybe actually. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. What if we move? Oh, we can't move it. That's right. But what if we resize it a little bit? No. Yeah, you can see. It's not. It's like relative to the screen. I think. Yeah, it's relative to like the screen top or something. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So I think the map position. This one. We need to add. Wait. Window size. Is it? No, wait. Window position. Or is it content region? Min. I'm not sure if this is like relative to the screen, but I guess we'll try it. No. It's basically the same thing, right? Or let's enable the whoops. The tags came in there. Let's enable the what is it? Here, move. So we can move it. Because I'd like to move it. Move it here. Yeah, you can see it's still, it's like, yeah. So, wait, where is that? Where's the map position here? So this didn't do shit. So let's do window position instead. And then maybe add the content region as well. Oh my god, why is it still... Okay, now it at least it follows the window now. Okay, and the zooming works a bit better maybe? Why is it like all off to the side over here? Like, I'm blaming the camera here. I'm just gonna invert this. I don't think it's correct. Because now it's like it's doing the... If you zoom in, it's gonna zoom out or stuff like that. Or... Wait. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, now it becomes like super weird, I think. Yeah, now I can't find anything, so... okay, let's think about this. So... this coordinate is like... Oh wait, but it's also... Oh wait. No, because it's also this. No, this is... No, not that. No, where is it? Scene map. Yeah. This one. We need this part. I think. Maybe we should like modify the cells so that the position, that the top left position is always like 0. Instead of doing whatever we're doing here. It's like, because the issue is that this, when we generate the map, right, all the positions are basically screwed up. They can be negative positions and stuff. And so we calculate like an offset here. That is like the top left boundary of the map. And it's calculated, so we get the min and the size, and then we know like, okay, it's this size. So the center of the map is actually, yeah, that's actually the center of the whole map. The center of this texture is the center of the whole map. So what do we do? So we already have the width and height, I guess. And then we like, when we render the tile maps, they're actually offset by the min, which is, yeah, we need to do this. Okay, let's just do this and we can fix it later. Because it's not really, it's like, it's not really, and it's gonna be like the map position. We're gonna have to... Wait, are we doing this for each cell? No, we're not. No. Okay, and then this would be the scene map. Yeah. So this would be scene map min. Scene map size. I'm not sure if we need that, but then this one is going to be negative scene map min. Wait, are you integer? Oh man. Okay. Unused local constant. Yes. Okay. Let's see what this does. It's gonna offset the thing a little bit. Where's my map now? Is it all? Oh, and okay. Should it be added? I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Well, actually, this is not separate coordinate. Yeah. Let's just put this. Let's just do this. We have to calculate this each time. Well, let's just do it, whatever. So that's scene map min. Let's see, we have I think here, cell min, we need to also do negative scene map min or FC map min. Okay. Let's see now. No. Did I? Oh, now it's over here. Okay. 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 Well, almost. It's like a mirror version down here. Okay. So it seems the X is correct. Then it's flipped, and I believe that sounds like, you know, the render texture thing is flipped on the y-axis. So not sure how to deal with that, really. Let's think a little bit. So oh, here we are transforming the camera. Okay. We should wait with this until the end here. Maybe that's the issue? I'm not sure. No. Wait, what's happening? Oh. Okay, now it's behaving super weird. Yeah, I don't think that's it. We only do it for rendering a texture. But now it seems something else is weird. This seems correct, but let's try add. As well. I don't think that's correct, but you can try it. Now it should be like, wait, where? I don't know. Over here. You know what? Let's actually highlight like all the cells that we find here. This is cell. And then I don't really want to return. I want to keep a, well, I'm just gonna do this for debugging purposes here, and then I'll remove it. And we zoom out, we should see, yeah, here's all the things. Where's the thing here? And then we do this. Now I'm curious if we invert the matrix, how it would look. I don't think we should do that. This feels like not an inversion of the matrix problem. It feels like it's just offset. It almost looks like it's like offset exactly by the size of the entire map in the y-axis, like 1, 1, 0. So that's really strange. I'm not sure why it would do that. I mean, I guess we could just offset it, but it feels like there's some error in the stuff here somewhere. The size seems correct. The position is wrong, but it's probably not due to, well, maybe it's the offset that's wrong. Maybe we shouldn't add, where is it? Maybe we shouldn't add this. Well, the X is actually, X seems correct though. X seems very correct. I'm not drawing like, oh, it's a little bit off. Maybe it's like this padding here. But it really shouldn't be that far down from this offset here. I don't think. It's also too much of a coincidence that it's like the entire map size just one floor down. I mean, we could offset it, but it feels like there's some other error that's happening in the gap calculation. Maybe the Y in this is flipped or something. No. Okay, so Wait, is it because of the draw list? Is it because of this is wrong? Is it only this that needs, like if we, no, if you click it also seems to, like if we click on, let's say we click on you, yeah, we get here. So it's like it's the same thing. It's not a draw list. This is correct, I think. The actual drawing, because that it matches exactly where you click with the mouse. So it's the actual rectangle that's the issue. Okay, but let's just cave in here and do what's happening here? I'm not getting one condition here. What's happening here? This returns a vector 2. Okay, I don't know. But let's just add or subtract. I don't know what it's called. Subtract. And this is gonna be vector 2 in its 0 and a negative f scene map size 1. And yeah, it feels very wrong doing this, but at least maybe it fixes the issue. Oh, excuse me. Or maybe not. Where did it go? Down here? Over here? Where did it go? Oh, it should be subtract and then add. That's right. But it felt like it was way off. Oh, maybe because this needs to be transformed, right? Yeah. So as soon as you zoom, it's bye-bye with this one. So we actually need, this is a vector thing. So let's do time zoom. We'll see. There we go. Okay. That was a journey. Right. So let's disable that. I guess we could still have a border or something around scenes. Okay, cool. So now you can go around and you can see, okay, this looks good, this looks good. Yeah, you see the whole map here. And then you see, yeah, this was good. And you go over here and then it's like, whoa, what's going on here? There's a disconnection here, so you can jump there and you can fix it. So this goes to the 3 branch left 3 scene. That seems correct on the bottom key. So let's go to this scene, and this goes to 3 branch 2. This should go to the top, right? This is the top. Yeah, so that's this one should be top, and then this one is bottom, I think. No, this entrance is top. Oh yeah, the entrance, wait, the entrance key is top, yeah, but this key is bottom. So this exit goes to bottom, yeah. Okay, cool. And then we save that, then we open the map again, and nothing's changed because we're not updating the map. Okay, so we need to go to when we save the scene. Oh, we only have this. Okay, so we save it. Scene map. We do a regenerate here, I think, which will take care of the earlier thing. Yes, it will. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, error union. Oh, catch. So does this do anything by itself? No. So let's do a catch error. Could not generate scene map. Alright, we don't need to handle that. I don't think. Let's open this again. And oh, now you see a lot more here. However, it does look a bit weird. I mean, yeah. So if we look at this one, you go up like this, you go to the next scene. This scene goes like to the right and then down, but it like overlaps a lot here. So it looks, it's a bit weird. The spatialness of this doesn't really match here. And now you have this huge room here. Okay, and we open the map and you can see that, yeah, this goes up there, this one goes, and then the boss room basically is part of the other rooms here a little bit. So you could use this tool actually also to get a better I mean, so that the tile maps match better, so they don't overlap. So yeah, but and oh, hang on for a second, I'm getting a call. All right, well, we got this working pretty much exactly how I wanted to work. It turned out to be well, a lot easier actually than I thought. I mean, it was a bit tricky to get all the positions and stuff correct. But it works really well now, and it's really nice to just, you know, go in here and I want to jump over to some other scene. I mean, we have to load basically all the scenes in order to do this, but it seems that it's not really a big deal for the computer to do this, at least not for the number of scenes that we have right now. But this will actually be able to like print the whole map in the end, like, yeah. So yeah, very cool, and very nice that we can just jump over to maybe we can also like add more an easier way to add more scenes. Like, let's say I'm going over here and I know that to the right I'm gonna have like a trigger that opens to the next scene, but right now to create a new scene you have to do like a lot of steps. First you have to create a tile map for the scene, So you go ahead and you create a time map, then you go in and create the time map and you save the time map. And then you have to go and create a scene as well, which I usually name the same as the scene. And then I have to go back and I have to go to the time map. I have to draw the time map into the scene so that it knows which time map I want to use. And then I have to create, the entrance and exits to the scenes so that it connects to the other scene, and you have to go back and forth, and it's a big hassle. So it would be nice if I could do maybe some convenience for that somehow. Like it's a little bit of annoying, but it's like it would be nice if I had it. But maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself. Like maybe that's not what we need to do. But it would be nice if we could just let's say, well, one thing is you can click here to get to the thing here, or to the same directory which this file is in. But then I want to have a way to like open it. That could be one step further, like right click to get a context menu or something like that, and then click open to go to this time map. That would be nice, and that's very easy to add actually. So maybe we can maybe that would be the last thing that we'll do this stream here. But yeah, we implemented this whole scene, so that's really nice now that this works. So I mean the scene map here, yeah. And so yeah, let's do this asset input upgrade. Let's go to do scene map. Yeah, so this is basically done. Okay, cool. What did I say? Oh, yeah, asset input. So we have a couple of upgrades we want to do to this input here. We have a couple of stuff. I want to add a context menu, and I want to be able to open the asset in the editor. So let's go to the layout utils where we have our asset input function. So this is magic asset input function that is used everywhere we have an asset input, of course, and it handles all different types of assets, and so it's very generic and it does a lot of things here. What we wanted to do, what we now want to add to this is like the context menu. So let's see here what's happening here. We have a text. Wait, is this the correct thing? Yeah, asset input. The text. Oh yeah, because because we have a little bit of special thing. It's not really a normal input. That's right. So we have the text is where we show the name of the asset, and we also check here if we have a value and we click on it, then we go to that directory. That's right. I wonder if we should have like a double click, like if you double click we open it instead. So if you click you go to the directory, but if you double click you open it in the editor. I mean that would be even better. Is that a thing? Double clicked. Is mouse I don't know. Double click. Whatever. Let's do. So we have hover, we have click. Let's do what is it? Click. Is item clicked right? And then we have, I think context, there's nothing called context menu, but there is, well, I guess this would be it, maybe. Oh, maybe this one actually. Whoops. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's try this. And pop up, I guess, or yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's try this and see what happens. It might not be how they want it to be. Okay, nothing's happening. I'm gonna check the manual. In green manual here. So let's see, widgets. Let's see, basic, tooltip. Combo box, bullets, collapsing headers, combo. Pop-ups. Here we go. Pop-ups. Yeah, this is the thing here. Okay, so yeah, it's just a pop, like, okay, so they have like an internal state in ImGui, so you can supply a string which is going to be like a unique identifier for the pop-up. You call open pop-up with the string that like turns the flag on, and then when you call begin pop-up, that's where you define how to render this pop-up, and you supply the same string, and then you render the thing and you do end pop-up. And then you should have like a close pop-up, I think, somewhere. Maybe it's like, yeah. So, yeah. But I don't know what this does. Begin pop-up context menu. Let's just do begin pop-up. Well, actually, no. This is open pop-up. Let's just call this. Oh man. Well, I'll just do this for now. Asset input. And let's. What was this? Okay, I'm not sure what this means. No open over existing. No. Like what about this? I don't know what this means. Okay, let's try this. And then I think we'll do like over here maybe. Begin pop up. Let's just have that. Okay. So now we should see something. Let's just put a text in there. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Cool. And then you can like Okay, so yeah, so we basically, I think how we do it is like with where there are context item, like I'm not sure what this means. But I think it's like selectables. That's how you usually do it, I think. To get the styling good, color, like good and stuff. So this would be open. And then you might even want to have like the, you know, the icon, the open in new window icon or something. But it's not going to be a new window though. Well, it's going to be a new tab, I guess. Open in new tab icon. I guess we can just spell it out in let's just call it open. What was this flag here? Oh, that's fine. Okay, so if this returns true, then we clicked it. And this will close the pop-up. And then we also open the thing. So context, open editor, and the ID is what? This. We have to have a current ID because otherwise this will be null. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna unwrap it there. Okay, so now we should have an open button that opens it. There we go. Now we're in the time app. And we can go back and forth if we want. Oh yeah, I need to write this down. You see how the camera, I moved it, so now we're in, they look the same now, these two files almost, but this is the scene and this is the time app. So if I move this away like this and go back to the scene, you can see this has moved now. If I move it back and then go back, this is also moved. So they share the camera, which yeah, I don't like that. So I need to write that down. Also, it's like super annoying because the scene and the time app doesn't have the same like offset to the center, so every time you switch you get to a different thing, and I need to fix that as well. It's kind of funny how that looks. Let's see, scene editor, I'll just write this down. Well, actually, no, let's just have it like a general thing, maybe. Camera for background should be her editor instead of only on in the context. Okay. What was the other thing? Okay, we have a context menu now. We can open it in the editor. Yeah. Yeah, this is also really nice. If the value is none, so if it's not set yet, we want to have an option to actually create a new asset directly and then set that to the input. So basically, let's say we create a new scene here called something, I don't know. And then this is none. This is the time map. So let's say I want to create a new time map now, but then I have to go back here. I want to go to the time maps. I have to create a new time map, name it the same thing, and then start doing that. And then I have to go back and like connect it with the scene. So instead of doing all that, it would be nice if we just had if it says none here, maybe you can right click on it to have like create new or something, or yeah, create new, or just have a plus button or something that shows up when it's none, that you can click on, and then you create the asset directly and it's gonna be automatically connected to this input. That will save a lot of steps actually. So yeah, actually let's do that. That would be the last thing maybe. I'm not sure how far we'll get on this, but because it might be a bit tricky to get the whole thing connected and stuff. I mean, adding the button won't be that much a big of a deal, but so if we have a value, then we do this. Otherwise, we're gonna actually do stuff. We'll take, I want to set the cursor. Before add new position, okay, so the idea is that we save the position that InGUI wants to render at this point, and then we restore it, so we don't really change anything. But in between, we can do whatever we want. So we can grab. Well, this is the some of the position that we need to have. So this is like the center. Right, and then we want to have not the text height, but this is going to be the add new height. Let's do, I don't know, 32. Oh yeah, it's going to be half. Okay, then we make a button that says plus, width is gonna be, this is gonna be the same as height. Okay, now when we press it, we wanna open, actually have this function. We sort of want this function. Maybe we should put that in the context instead. We'll put these in the context. Yeah. Where is that? Context message manager. Yeah, let's put them here. Okay. and then we don't need to say context. Oops. Okay. What's yeah, so now we can open new asset dialog for the same type. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. But then now we need like a special, so this is halfway there. Now we need like a special loop around thing that also assigns this input to the new dialog. So what we need is we need to go to these things and we should say new asset input target, which is a nullable to, I guess it could be like a pointer to a UUID or something. Maybe. Although that's going to be difficult because well, actually no, because the documents are actually always in capacity. So what I was worried about was that if this pointer gets invalidated, that's what I was worrying about. But I don't think it will actually, unless you have a lot of documents. I think it's like I don't know, 100,000 or something I had set the capacity to. So if it goes above that, then it might get invalidated if you're reaching some sort of magic limit there. Where did I have that? Like here, yeah, 100,000 capacity for the documents. The documents are really, they are basically at most like 2 or 3 pointers or something. So it's not that big of a deal. It's like what would that be? 100,000 times, no, 100,000 times 64 times 3, 19 million. So it's like 18 megabytes. Yeah, so it's not that, it's really not that big of a deal. Okay. To put that up front, I mean. And so this should probably not get invalidated here. And then what else? Well, actually, it wouldn't get invalidated anyway because the documents are only holding like the pointers to the structures. This UUID would be in some sort of, yeah. No, that should be fine. That should be fine. It shouldn't get invalidated. Anyway, because it's not stored in an array. I don't think. Well, maybe it is actually. No, because if we go to here and we deserialize, so I'm just gonna reassure myself here. We return that. Well, actually, we go to the context here. Here's the thing. Where is that? No, where is that document? Open document, load document. No, it's not in here then. It's in context document. Request. Yeah, so here's like we create. We set it in this. Yes. But what about the content? So here we do that, then we set the content there. We deserialize, we initialize the thing here. We go to document generic, we deserialize, we grab that there. This is persistent data. Here we go. Here we go. Here we create a pointer here. This one will not get like invalidated because it's not in an array that gets like, yeah, so it's like a loose pointer that's only gonna get invalidated once we exit the program basically, or unload the document. I guess that's the thing, you could unload a document like while you're creating, while you're in the, okay, that's actually a thing. I just thought that this is actually a bug. Potentially. So it's like, where were we? Now here, yeah. So it's like this is okay. I'm gonna explain it like this. I open the editor. There's gonna be a bug if we just do it like this and be naive about it. Come on. What's happening? Oh, it failed. Oh, contents. Right, oh, I removed this. Okay, so let's say we press this button. Where is the button actually? It should be a button here. Okay, but anyway, let's say press the button. Now we come into this thing. Now in this mode, let's say we close this. That means we unload the scene and the target asset input is no longer valid. That is how it could crash here. That's insane how it could catch that. Okay, but if we unload it, can we somehow? No, we can't check if it's valid. We could though. We could make this into a more rigid structure. So we could, like, let's say you do scene ID. Maybe actually no. It's document ID. And then the asset input, yeah, just asset input, I guess. Okay, so we can now check for, is this document IDs, well, this will become another problem, like if you open and close it, and then if you open it, add the asset input like this, close it, and then open it again, then the ID is still there. We know that the ID is open, but the pointer is still invalid. Man, how would you do this in a like easy way? Maybe we just don't care about that thing. Maybe we just let it crash. If someone does that, and keep it as a bug. Hmm. All right, so okay, I'm just gonna do it like this for now. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe. I mean, we could also do it like okay. If we want it more rigid, we do it like this. Then we check every time we close a document or unload a document. We check that, okay, what is the current new asset input target? Does it match this document ID? If it does, then we just set this to null. Okay, that could be the solution here. So I'll just add a to do here because I don't want to do that right now. Whenever we close a document, check if we need to set this to null. Yes, we can say. Okay. And yeah, I guess we can keep this structure, I guess. So then, where do we have this thing? Asset input, like here. So we'll open that. We'll also set the new asset target thing. So document ID is what? The current open document. Don't really have a way to, I mean, I can get the current editor. And then just get the document like this. Get ID. Okay, and then we have asset input. Now this one we don't actually have. Yeah, that's right, we don't have this. Okay, I might change how this asset input works so that it works more like the other inputs, because normally ImGui inputs, you put in a pointer to the thing that you want to change, but here we don't do that. Here we put in like where this is the current value, and then you get back a nullable and a new value. So if you get back null, that means nothing's changed. If you get back a new ID, that means it changed. But we could still have that same check, because the thing is, you might want to do other stuff. If you get back an ID, you might want to do some other stuff. So what we could do is return a bool, and then the value pointer here, which they usually say like v for something, I don't know, and and then this is a pointer to a nullable UUID. So this would change a lot of places, but it's not that big of a deal. I think it's better because now we can yeah, well, now we can do things like this. So now we can say if this open enter by ID. I'm not sure if you need to dereference that actually. No, you don't, maybe. Okay, that was it. And here, now we can actually pass this here. So V. There we go. But now we have a lot of places that's needs changed here. So you are gonna be that, and then since this only just sets it, we can basically remove this whole if here and just do this. Yeah. Oops. And okay, this one's a bit different since we're not getting a pointer here. Also, this ID is actually part of an array, so well, actually no, because the entities are stored as pointers, I think. Yeah. But anyway, so this one, I mean, we could do this. Or this, I mean. Wait, can you do that? Yeah, you have to be able to do that. We need that. Or not. But we do need this. And then we do need this. Alright. Oh, except this could be null. So it's annullable like this. Okay. How's this? Oh yeah. So now this might be like null because it might not like exist. I'm just gonna assume that it does exist, so I'm just gonna do or else unreachable because every scene automatically adds a time entity into it, so you can't really delete it either. So for this to be wrong, then there's something wrong with the data. Yeah. So let's do that. And then here, this, yeah, so now we don't need to do set. The only thing this does is this. So we don't really need to do that actually. That's only, whoops. No, you accidentally added or triggered that thing. So we don't need to. Well, actually, what we could do is we could do this: if scene document get time up ID. Okay, now we get the pointer to the nullable, and we can simply pass that in here instead. There we go. Okay, it just fits there. Okay, now let's see what else. Time up. Wait, what's this? Alright, so now this one, this is a pointer to a nullable. So if we don't get a time map, we don't have this either. Okay, I'm just gonna do or else unreachable here. And oh, same thing here. Isn't this the same thing? And this one as well. Okay. Right. Wait. Where? Oh. That's. So it didn't fit. Yeah, so this one is the same. We just set the ID here, so we can just do this. And this exit is a mutable, so we can just easily do just this. Alright. Couple of different places. Here's the same thing. Now project is mutable, so good. We can just do this. And wait, as it no. Yeah. Now it's an ID is to a nullable, yeah. Okay. What's happening here? Expected bool. Oh yeah. So here we return true. And what we also do is we say v is equal to file ID. And then we return true. Here we return false. Okay, here's another one, except it's texture ID this time. So let's do this. And so we get the pointer out. Wait, does this work? No, it doesn't work. So we'll just do this, I think, because set, the only thing set does is just sets it like this, so we don't really need it to do anything else. There we go. Should maybe even delete the set if it's not used, because so we don't like get into any weird stuff happening in the future. Right, so this should be like this. Okay. Alright, couple of places left. Set texture. You only do this. Oops. And this is the only place. Almost only place. Okay. Well, let's do the same thing here. But this also needs to change now. Oh yeah, this actually needs to be mutable now. Yeah, okay, so here's the same thing. Here it is. And asset reference. Yeah, let's just do that. What's this? Okay. So yeah. Let's see if stuff still works. Let's open up a scene. Let's open up this scene here. Okay, let's open up. Let's drag this. Oh, what happened here? What happened there? Oh, I think I know what happened there. Well, it might have to do something with the drag and drop target may get overridden here. Let's see. Yeah, but this button maybe. So we should move this to the... Alright, let's move this after all that. So basically, if we don't have a value, yeah, if we don't have a value, we show the button here. Okay. Now it works. Except I probably want the drop target to be the entire input instead of just the label thing. I wonder if you can set that like manually, like the size of the item. Like really would like this to be the target and not the text. I wonder if you could add like a ghost item or something. Well, let's not dwell on that. Let's see, this button, I want it to be also at like the end. Oh, this won't really work. Do we save the position somewhere? Input position min. Yeah. Let's use Now we might be able to see it at least, no? Oh. Let's just make this... Wait, but what is this then? Oh, that's just a... Okay. Oh yeah. So we just do y, the y position. Yeah. But then we need to set. We also need to set x. You can see now we get the button here. We need to set the. It's not really centered though, but we need to set the x to the end. So x. Also, maybe it's a little bit big. Let's do like 24. Okay, so this will be... Maybe... No, that's not max. That's like the next row. That's like... No. It's gonna be like input position min plus window, maybe this, or max 0. So basically the width of the window content region, and then minus the half. No wait, half. It should be. No, it should be the whole thing. Okay, let's add a little bit of padding there. Okay, let's add a little bit more. Okay, but now 1 second. Alright, I have to go here soon. But let's do the last thing here just to make it, just to finish off there this thing. So, when you open a new dialog, we wanna, when you create a new asset, we wanna also set the asset input to that asset ID. So, where do we do that? Here we have create new document. And once we have that, this is where we close the thing. When we close it, we also wanna set this to no. Okay. And then in here, we create a new asset. And then we check if the if we have a target. And here we can also check, like to do check if document is not unloaded. And target asset input is now a pointer, so we can set the pointer to document get ID. There we go. Okay, I think we did it. Well, we have to test it also, I guess. So we create a new asset. This is a new time map. We're gonna call it test as well. This is now created here. We do some stuff here, and I guess we can save it. Okay, it's gonna end up in like the base folder, which is, well, we don't have a way to select the target folder in the asset dialog yet, but that's also going to be added. And now you can see we have added this test here, so really good, productive. I mean, we could just move it like this to time maps, but yeah, that works. So if we go through the thing again, okay, whatever. Let's go here. Let's just close everything here. Okay, so we'll create a new. So we want to create a new scene, and it crashes. Okay. What crashes? That's interesting. Updated index allocation. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, it's even here. Wait. Oh, are we not? Yeah, we are freeing it. Oh, I see. I know what the issue is. So basically, I'm trying to free a slice, but the slice has a different size than its underlying pointer. So the pointer of this has a different like allocation size. But when free wants to know the size of how much it's gonna free up, it looks at the slice that you give it, because it doesn't really have any more information. Oh well, it could. I guess it could keep like a index of the pointers or something. But the point is that the point is of this thing is that, yeah, you pass in a slice, it's the wrong size, it's gonna crash. I mean, it's interesting that it knows that it's the wrong size. So why couldn't it just free the original pointer? Okay, But anyway, so yeah, because the issue is here. This is the thing that we're actually allocating. So this is the original sort of slice with join Z here. But then we do like a normalize. So this changes the length of the slice, but it doesn't actually allocate anything new. So maybe we should just allocate it instead of, or it's not that big of a deal. I think we should just allocate it. Yeah, let's just defer. And we will dupe this. Oh, we can actually do try. All right. Now I believe this, yeah, this happens when you create a new asset, which is why I haven't seen it that much. And now it's complaining about this document here. Oh yeah, this. Yeah. Okay, let's delete this. We create a new scene called test. Oops. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. We create a new thing here called test. And, you know, we save them. Why is this not populated? Okay, that's weird. So if I exit now, well, now I don't get leaks, so great. Or it wasn't a leak, it was like a allocation free error. Was there anything else that I wanted to do? I mean, there's a bug here. I can see that this is not like, why is this empty here? So okay, so the scene actually got a name, but this one doesn't have a name. Or is it because it's over there? Oh, why is the label over there? That's weird. So this label should be over here. I'm not sure what's happening there. Okay, but anyway, now it's like a lot easier to actually add, like, create a new scene, basically. Oh yeah, and it complains because I'm deleting a time map that the scene is using, so I think that was the issue. Yeah. Yeah, it's way easier now. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for this time. So we did progress here. We have the scene map now, where we can look at the whole map. I mean, you can jump through. Before you had to jump through like this to get to the next part, but now we can open the map, which is automatically generated from all the entrances and exits, and you can just click to jump to whatever place you want to go to. So that's cool. Yeah, and then we also did a bunch of upgrades, random upgrades to different things like the asset input, for example. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. So I'll just check this here, but this one is done. Yeah. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.